All right, here we go with our episode 2. We are back again for everyone who listened to the first one this week with some more spoilers. We've got the commander versions of things, so I'm joined again with shockingly still the gang. All of us are still here. You're not trapped in a time loop. You're here with us again.
Who are you guys?
We've got the gang. We've got Brian. We've got Sherman. We've got Slothy. Everyone's doing great. Rested.
It's been 20 years.
I'm just gonna copy paste everyone's response, but from different weeks. Why is Daniel talking like it's still winter? It's not minus 40. Let's jump right into this. Is I guess our bonus content. So yeah, if you're on Patreon, you'll get it early. Let's jump right into the commander spoilers because I'm so in love with this. This is going to be one of the deck techs we have coming up, just starting right off the Duskana, the Rage Mother, the Rage. 2, 1 green, 1 red, and 1 white. I didn't say that in order. It's a legendary bear, and we all know that I'm building at least one of the legendary bears. I've got the deck list, and I think everyone's going to like it. I think you will enjoy this. But it's a 5/5 bear, which is great. It's got very cool artwork. It's got the whole bear group going on. Spirit bear. When Duskana Rage Mother enters, you draw a card for each creature you control with base power and toughness 2/2. I love draw on a commander, and we've got the ability to blink this so easily. I'm talking a million miles a minute because I'm so excited about this card, but we've got a lot of white flicker spells like the Ephemerates, our Conjurer's Closet kind of things, and we have an ETB, so Panharmonicon style effects are gonna really want to play out. That's a great ability. You don't need to give anything else, just the fact that for raw 2/2s I'm able to have such an insane draw engine. I love it. But it's base power toughness 2/2. So anything that's buffing is not going to affect me. I can go a token strategy. I can go an anthem strategy. There's tons and tons of anthems in that. It's only base power toughness. And whenever a creature you control with base power and toughness attacks, it gets +3/+3 until end of turn. First off, that's insane. That's a wicked little ability to put on, but it's whenever it attacks, and we're in red. So any extra combats that we're generating is going to keep this 3/3 going up. These base power 2/2s are just going to be able to steamroll things, right? Any like a World at War kind of thing is getting your first wave of 2/2s is going to go to 5/5, and then they're 8/8s. It's a lot.
Well, that's plus with any other anthems that you have on board.
Yeah, right. It's
you could have crater hoofed, but your creatures are still base power.
Exactly, right? This is I think just a phenomenal card, and that draw engine, it can't be downplayed how insane that is. The ability to pump out cheap creatures in Naya is always right. We can flood the board. This is your kind of typical Jetmir strategy where you just have your win con in the command zone. That 3/3 attack trigger is nuts, right? And it really does change the assessment of what's on board. The fact that we can get our 2/2s pumped so high up to 5/5s, right? Just trash cards are going to be just even your normal, if you go just a bear theme, right? Just your normal grizzly bear kind of cards. 5/5s for 2 mana is what they turn into. And that's phenomenal. And like I said, that's before any of White's anthems, any of the things that are going to like a Dictate of Heliod, those kind of effects. You've got your damage doublers in red. I could see this deck really going off and being a half crazy enchantment deck, half just draw engine bears, because
I just see both of the crater hoofs hitting the field on this one, the white and the green.
The big problem with this too is that a lot of the time to deal with a commander that's a problem, the simple answer is I get rid of it. I exile it, I destroy it, but all you're doing is putting my draw engine back in the command zone. And I'm probably not going to cast this till I've gotten a 4 or 5 draw off. So you're putting my draw engine back for me to recast in colors that I'm not disincentivized from ramping in. I really think that this is I say all the time that there's some commanders that just overperform. This is, I think, going to be one of them. And I'm really excited to build this because it's just I'll probably build 3 or 4 versions of this because that base power toughness 2/2 is no joke. There's a lot of creatures that hit that.
And he likes bears.
I do like bears.
Today's episode, we're not talking spoilers. We're just doing the deck tech on this right now.
Yeah, let's just jump right into the deck tech there.
Surprise brewing it live. I would love to brew it live.
I like that.
I'd brew it live with this if you want, Brian.
We'll go ahead.
Brian it live. Yes. So I'll let you guys go to the next card because I will talk about this Duskana. The artwork is so good. It's so good. I want so many of these. Send me the Duskana. Send me the rage.
I was gonna joke that the Rage Mother's my spirit animal when I go off my medication.
I'm off my meds.
But I was like, I don't know if that's appropriate enough, but I said it anyways.
A pale bear shall herald the rise of the old gods, the cruel prophecy. Oh man, I could talk about this
I
card.
read that too. I liked it. Everything about that card.
I could talk about this card for the next 2 hours, and like we make a nice schedule, a little behind the scenes. We make a nice schedule. This is like one of the first commanders on this schedule. I was like, we're building it. Doesn't matter what we're doing. Doesn't even matter.
Nope,
Duskana is so cool.
there. So we got Feather.
Really quickly.
Radiant Arbiter.
Really quickly. Look at this. This bear's going Super Saiyan. I love it so much.
So is this Feather?
All right, carry on, please.
Red, 2 white, legendary creature angel, flying, lifelink. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell that targets only Feather, Radiant Arbiter, you may choose any number of other creatures you control number of other creatures that spell could target and pay 2 for each of those creatures. If you do for each of those creatures, copy that spell. The copy targets that. Interesting. All right, 4/3.
There's a lot
going on there.
I initially thought it sucked, and then someone in the comments meant because normal Feather is instants and sorceries just come back to your hand, right? Mm-hmm. Which is cool, but the fact that this is like a aura themed commander, the fact that you can all that glitters and get 2 all that glitters for an extra 2 mana is kind of nutty.
Mm-hmm. All that glitters on all of your creatures.
Yeah, I guess you don't have to stop at 1, right? I just think that I would build this straight mana rocks and straight in like auras, and then probably the heroic because I want to keep making creatures that I can target. I'm a simple man.
If you even wanted to, like, you could be a total degenerate. Be like, I put the mutate.
Yeah.
What is it? The indestructible mutate card where it turns into a bug.
But would that be considered a non-creature spell because of mutate?
No. It's the aura enchantment card that turns that creature.
He's saying Darksteel Mutation.
I know that mutates in the name of the card.
Darksteel Mutation, yeah.
Yes, that one.
Oh, sorry, you're
just hose everybody else's board.
Darksteel Mutation.
It's early.
Table.
I've only been awake for about 2 hours now, but it's not the same kind of awakeness as I typically would.
An insane amount of time to be awake for. I often operate my whole job on being awake for 18 seconds. I'm like, time to get up. Let's go.
Yeah, I like a nice slow.
You like to ease into the day. That's fair.
Yeah.
The next one we've got here is Coust, Eye of the Glade. This is a hybrid Boros and a green, so Naya colors, for a 2/2 Dryad Detective. Whenever a creature you control that was turned face up this turn deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And you can tap it to put target face down attacking creature you control face up.
I like this.
It's interesting.
I like the Dryad.
What's with the schizophrenia text? If you think you're being watched, you're probably right. They're in the walls.
The Triads are everywhere. They could be. The bamboo behind me is a Dryad.
That's some schizophrenia bait right there, text. That's really funny. That's a cool card. The morph mechanic is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Cloak.
I like his squirrel companion. Give me that as a partner.
Yeah.
Partner with squirrel token.
Then,
partner with face down creature.
Then the next one we have is Marvo Deep Operative. 3 and a blue and a black for a 1/8 octopus rogue. Again with the rogues.
I'm really surprised that Daniel didn't take this one. He has a thing for octopuses.
I do like a good octopus. Please carry on.
Whenever Marvo Deep Operative attacks clash with defending player, Okay, so reminder, each clashing player reveals the top card of their library, then puts that card on the top or bottom. The player wins if their card has a higher mana value. Okay, so whenever you win a clash, draw a card. Then you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value 8 or less without paying its mana cost. That's pretty strong.
I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the octopus theme restrictions as well.
I like the fact that they brought back Clash.
Yeah. I
like playing a good game of war.
Yeah, right. That's pretty good. You're in like cool top deck manipulation colors too, right? You brainstorm something huge to the top.
I guess my question is, does Clash trigger first? So you have to decide to put the card on top or bottom, and then you technically
you wouldn't
what
be
you're
able to
drawing
do it
into?
you couldn't do it in the middle of your clash.
I wasn't sure if you would draw and then Clash would. Yeah, never mind. I'm probably sounding super dumb right now.
No, it's all good. Valid question. We have Mirko, Obsessive Theorist. 1/1 black, 1 blue for a 1/3 vampire detective with flying and vigilance. Whenever you surveil, you put a 1/1 counter on Mirko. Pretty cool. At the beginning of your end step, you may return target creature with power less than Mirko's from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. If it would die, exile it. That's a pretty cool reanimator.
Yeah, I like that actually.
Yeah, Surveil's already tossing your things into the grave. Your commander gets bigger and is a flying vigilance commander. I think that's pretty playable.
Surveil is either the top or the grave, right?
Yeah, grave
Yes.
scry.
It's like scry, but not top or bottom, top or grave. Yeah, okay. I rarely play with any of these like trigger or like. I don't like discarding my cards, as we all know with my Wheel of Sun and Moon. So,
Fair. Brian, please, your next one. You'll be happy with the types.
we got Morska, Undersea Sleuth. Green, white, blue, legendary creature, Vidalcan fish detective. I was going off about this one. I was like, a fish? I was like, we only have whatever. So you have no maximum hand size. Amazing. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Morska, Undersea Sleuth, and it's a 2/3. Which that last ability is great. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I like drawing cards. I won't tell a lie. I really enjoy trying to draw cards on other people's turns. And just, even though I'm bad with Flash, I'll be honest, but it's just great fun. And it's a 2/3. I don't know if I said that. But I do enjoy the art. I enjoy that he's like undersea, kind of like excavating like ancient artifacts.
Yeah.
As a Vidalcan fish detective tends to do.
The merfolk.
I don't know. It looks more of a Vidalcan fish detective to me.
I think it looks exactly like a Vidalcan fish detective.
All right, guys.
I don't know if it looks like a detective. Vidalcan fish, yeah, but
Looks like an archaeologist.
Moving on. Next one we've got here is Nelly Borka, Impulsive Accuser. 2 red and a white for a legendary human detective that's a 2/4 with vigilance. Whenever Nelly Borka, Impulsive Accuser, attacks, suspect target creature, then goad all suspected creature. A suspected creature has menace and can't block. Whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls deals combat damage to one or more of your opponents, you and the controller of those creatures each draw a card.
Her parents hated her. Holy Nelly Borka.
I really like this card, but I can't get over the face. It's to me it's so funny. Like it's just I'm suspecting. I just can't get over it. It's all like you have to watch the video to see what I'm doing. But yeah,
Whoa, Nelly, whoa.
I think it looks like the person she's accusing too is just holding a spoon in their hand. I think it's glasses.
I think it might be
But it
glass
looks like
or
a
a
spoon.
magnifying glass.
yeah. I really think this is a fun one. I really like the suspect mechanic. That's very cool. You suspect everything that you suspect, getting a little sus, ends up getting goaded is very, very fun. And I love that weird group hug-esque, like you've got to attack, but we are drawing cards. Like I think this is a pretty cool one. I'm kind of on the fence about if I want to buy these or not, because I was like, meh, how
The
are they?
name
But
kills me.
I just think impulsive accuser. Actually,
The
the Borka. Borka the Orca. I like that one. And then Sherman, you want
it kind of seems like she got bullied, and that's why she just accuses people.
Just accusing everyone because she's impulsive, right? So hey,
Mr. Lore Guy, is Nelly Borka related to Bell Borka in any way?
Probably.
There's another Borka.
Let's see, Bell Borka MTG. I haven't got the thing. It's got to be, yeah.
Because that doesn't seem like a very common name.
Yeah, right.
From the great Borka lineage.
Yeah, I haven't read the lore of this one yet, but let's see. Bell Borka is Lieutenant of the Wojak League. Come on, this writes itself the joke. Bell Borka didn't ask to be Argus Co's partner. Sure, these days, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's just just spectral general stuff, but probably related with that last name kind of thing. I would assume it has to be.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very common name, so.
Well, not common for us, but maybe in Ravnica.
And they're, yeah, true. That could be like the Smith of their world.
Yeah.
The old Borkas.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a John Borka here.
There's a cunning resemblance.
I don't trust these Borkas.
And then Sherman, do you want this last face commander here?
Yeah.
This does seem like one for Sherman or Dan being forced upon him. No wonder the dog.
So we have Sophia, Dog Detective, for a 1 and a green, a white, and a blue, with a 3/4 human detective. When Sophia, Dog Detective, enters the battlefield, create Tiny, a legendary 2/2 green Dog Detective creature token with Trample. You can pay 1 and sacrifice an artifact token. Put a +1/+1 counter on each dog you control. Whenever a dog you control deals combat damage to a player, create a food token, then investigate.
Ooh.
That's actually really strong.
That's actually
Hey, we
pretty
got
strong.
a dog commander other than the cat dog.
Other than Rin and Ciri. There are a lot of dogs in Magic, and that is it's a pretty good ability. Create a food, then investigate. That's going to trigger an Academy Manufacturer twice.
Well, and you can then sacrifice those and make all of your dogs bigger.
Yeah, because it's each dog.
Woo! Yeah, that's pretty cool. To be honest, that's surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be. I was looking at it and thinking, what in the Scooby-Doo is this?
Yeah.
Create Tiny, a legendary
dog
2/2
whisperer.
green. Yeah, that's that actually looks like it could be. I can't see, again, I don't know the deck list. I can't see this being good in the deck.
I feel like you do have to build around this one.
Like this seems like a fun commander to build sans precon, but like when you look at what the other face commander is, where it's all about investigating and drawing and stuff, right? You're not going to go into the each dog you control. That's a power mechanic. That's a powerhouse mechanic to be able to sacrifice your artifact tokens so easily. And like, again, just another use for foods, as we've seen more and more lately. They're really, really useful. But there's so many cards that are going to benefit from this, and I can't see them being in the deck. I might be wrong, but I just can't see this being good in the deck. This seems like something you have to take and put into something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just kind of, to be honest, so far, the only one that really seems to really work together is the Marvo and Mirko, because I guess like you could do the Duskana with the cloak creatures because they're 2/2s, but that's not what you're doing. Trash, get out of there, right? But like even like Feather and Nelly Borka, those seem like very, very different decks. The reason I like the food deck so much is because no matter what you did with that deck, no matter what option you picked for the pairing, it was on theme of like just like this, like very focused. And these all kind of seem like I said, minus the Demir one, they don't seem focused to each other. Like the Nelly Borka seems fun to do, and if the cards in it, but they're only going to be one or the other, right? They're either going to be geared towards Feather or towards Nelly, and if Nelly's the face commander, I assume it's a suspect. And if the Vidalcan Fish Detective, which is very, very accurately drawn and not a merfolk, if it is that, then like the definitely not a merfolk deck. The Sophia Dog Detective, I just can't see it being good in the deck. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the Morska the face commander for the dog
Morska,
commander?
it is, yes.
Yeah, Morska.
Yeah, no. Like,
I think
it's so weird where they come up with like the backup commanders, and they're like a dog commander with a fish.
I feel like that one's going to be more of like a blanket artifact token theme.
+1/+1. Yeah.
For
like
the
For
investigator.
Morska and Sophia.
Yeah, like Morska just makes it seem like I want to just draw cards. That's my raw, like my win cons are going to be like things that are artifact based and let me tap artifacts to do XYZ or draw out to a lab man, right? Like the no max hand size built into your commander kind of focuses you in one direction, and that makes sense, right? But yeah, like I said, the Sophia, it looks like a really, really powerful deck. Like you could build a really, really cool deck with it. I'm surprised by the look of it, but I can't see it being a good dog themed investigation deck.
Scooby.
Yeah, this is
Scooby
I need an ultra of this with Shaggy and Scooby.
with Scooby snacks for the food.
Oh man.
Ooh, a big stack. I like that. I'm gonna have to visit Abyss again. Get him to send me a Mystery Machine theme pack.
Oh, that's fun.
Great spot for a thing. If you want, I know that Atomic said that they're not doing commissions. Ask nicely, they'll do it. Just trust me. Tell him I said you would. Daniel says you will. But promo code IT99 if you want those things. They're pretty cool.
15% off.
Yeah, they look pretty awesome.
Yeah, right. That's where I got the Elucin. I had a great time with that Elucin. Oh, by the way, speaking of like things that I wish I had a great time with, that Secret Lair cats and dog deck looked great, and it just sold out so fast. Well, that's not really the point of Secret Lair. The whole reason they did Secret Lair was to get away from the sellout things, because they had to give these fancy foil sheets
to the order.
Yeah, they had to give these fancy foil sheets away because they ran out, and then they're like, what if we did it again? What if we did it again and put Anointed Procession in the deck? So yeah, that sold out. I didn't even know it had gone live, and I kind of wanted that.
I was very upset too. I would have ordered that.
6 hours in.
Yeah.
And now on the secondary market, I was reading something yesterday. They're selling for over $1,000 right now.
Any super fans who really love my takes, just send me one of those whenever you want. I'll appreciate it. I might even give you a shout out.
I might give you a virtual thumbs up.
You may even get a pat on the back from me.
No.
Yeah, but no, yeah, like I was saying, Sophia seems pretty cool. I would build this as a.
I definitely wanted the Anointed Procession. I wanted that cat one.
Yeah. Right. How many dogs do we have in Magic? We have. I'm just looking.
We got caught up on the dog.
119 dogs. So you can pretty easily go into this, and the fact that whenever a dog deals that damage, it's not whenever. Once a turn, and none of that nonsense stapled on here. Just whenever a dog you control deals combat damage to a player, just good old fashioned Magic.
Also not including shapeshifters.
True.
Oh yeah, true. There's a lot of those. But there's like I said, 119. That's
Maskwood Nexus.
Yeah.
I like that it's got life gain and card draw on it.
Yeah. Right, like that's
it's like the little then investigate just kind of stapled at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're also in like the colors of like being able to reduce costs of things, like your training ground kind of colors.
The fact that you're in like all the token doubler colors is the scary part.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hadn't really given this much thought because I just gave it a quick glance over. This actually does look pretty fun to build.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk with my LGS about getting him to set one of these decks aside for me, and then I'm going to build it.
The fact that the main commander dog also just has trample built into it is
Tiny?
pretty good. Yeah, it's almost it's kind of a bummer that it's not partner with Tiny. That would have been like a Halden and Paco style thing. Bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm still pretty happy with this ETB of Tiny.
Tiny and Boo.
Yeah, right. Like I said, this is a fun looking commander that I might go down the dog path a little, take it to the dog park. Let's get into a few of these.
I'll mind the pound.
Yeah, take him to Pound Town. Let's get into some of these new cards. Slothy made a good point that they all kind of say that they are rares at the bottom, but they all, to me, look like they are common rarity. So maybe that's just something with the printing.
Oh yeah, they're all black.
Yeah, right.
Wizards, I don't like this.
Go with the hologram. If it had the hologram, then we talk about it.
Yeah. To be honest, it does look like they should be rares because I was scrolling and some of these look pretty good. Let's start with Armed with Proof. It's 2 and a white for an enchantment. When it enters, investigate twice. Powerful. Clues you control are equipment in addition to their other types, and have equipped creature gets 2/0 and equip 2. I like that a lot. That's Bludgeon Brawl 2.0.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right. That's some silly nonsense. Again,
silly cards like that.
I really like multiple uses for these like weird tokens. They're pretty cool.
Oh god, there's paper in it. This could go into Sherman's book deck thing.
If it was blue.
Yeah.
Brian, the next one, please.
We have Bolt Bender, 3 and a red. Creature, Goblin Wizard with Disguise. You may cast this card face down for 3 as a 2/2. Really? They brought back Morph but changed the name.
And they gave it Ward 2.
Oh, okay. I guess I should have kept reading. So when Bolt Bender is turned face up, you may choose new targets for any number of other spells and or abilities. That's a 4/2.
This
should
artwork,
really work on your aim.
This artwork is the exact face I make when people give me negative comments on YouTube. When someone comes and they're mean on the YouTube, that's it. It's no. Just so you guys know, that's what you do when you bully me.
You don't even want to see what you did to me.
I like that card a lot. Slothy, please.
Yeah, this next one, it's a new type of enchantment. It's called a Case Enchantment. So this one is Case of the Shifting Visage. 1 double blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1, and then 2 solve. There are 15 or more cards in your graveyard, and then if it's unsolved, it becomes solved at the beginning of your end step. And then if it's solved, whenever you cast a non-legendary creature spell, copy that spell.
That's wild.
That is wild.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Okay, yeah, definitely not a common.
No.
Whoa.
3 mana, yeah. They're 15.
To get 15 cards in your graveyard's easy.
Well, and especially in a we've got a reanimator theme, right? I assume that's got to be what the deck is, but whenever you cast a non-legendary copy, that's a powerhouse ability.
Which commander deck do you feel this is in?
Again, though, throwing this into anything like an Adrix or Nev, where you're just already doubling things up, right? Like that's pretty good.
And I will note, Adrix and Nev was reprinted here.
Yeah, in this set. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Oh, trust me, I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next one is Charnel Serenade. 4 black. Sorcery. Surveil 3. Then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Exile Charnel Serenade with 3 time counters on it. And it also has Suspend 3 for 2 and a black. That's not bad.
Colonel?
It's pretty cool.
Colonel Serenade?
Colonel?
Is it like a...
It's Charnel.
No.
It's Carnal if you don't know how to spell.
Yeah, that's just why I had an H in there.
The H is to make it fancy. I really, really like those revolving suspend cards. I think that's pretty cool.
I like seeing some suspend come back. It's just very rare to see them now.
Yeah, right. We have copy catchers, 1 in the blue for a 2/1 flying fairy. Whenever you surveil, you can pay 1 in the blue. If you do, create a token that's a copy of copy catchers.
Ooh.
I could see that getting kind of out of control. Especially if you got a lot of mana.
Yeah.
The flavor text, I honestly don't know if they're sabotaging our records or trying to help me sort.
That's funny.
Oh, that's great. It's mine now?
Yeah, that's
Mine?
cool.
We have Counterpoint 3, blue, black, instant, counter target spell. That's an expensive counter spell. You may cast a creature, instant, sorcery, or planeswalker spell from your graveyard with mana value less than or equal to the spell's mana value without paying its mana cost. Wow.
It's pretty
That's
good.
well worth it.
That's a pretty solid counter. And it's very fun to Cycle Rift. Counterpoint. No.
Nice theory, but I'm going to have to poke some holes in it.
Blah, 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 blah. I like that a lot. That's very cool.
Some of this flavor text has been on point. Really enjoying it, actually.
Mm-hmm. The next one we've got is Detective of the Month. 2 in the blue for 2/3 human detective with Ascend. As long as you've got the city's blessing, detectives you control can't be blocked. And whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I love the name of this, Detective of the Month. Like, oh man, let's create some more crime so I can like solve more cases.
I have questions about this person to the right who clearly has horse legs. That's weird. It's a little weird to me.
Centaur.
Okay. But nothing in this card tells me that there should be a centaur here.
Horse people. Do you see the clown in the bottom left-hand corner?
I guess. I don't know. Where's the centaur from is all I'm saying. It's just it's a weird thing to... It's a
We don't
weird
discriminate here.
The centaurs are usually more aligned with the group in Ravnica.
Yeah, it's,
that's very true.
Right. That's all right. All right. It's just a weird piece in the bottom corner there.
Okay, we got Experiment 12 for 3 and a green. It's an elf lizard warrior for 4/4 with trample. Whenever Experiment 12 or another creature you control is turned face up, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature equal to its power. And it has Disguise for 4 and a green.
That's pretty good. Turns up for 5 mana for an 8/8.
Oof.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. I like that. We have Eye of Duskmantle, 5 double black for an eye. 3/8. Flying lifelink. You may play lands and cast spells from among cards in your graveyard you've surveilled this turn. That's great. If you cast a spell this way, you pay life equal to its mana cost rather than mana value rather than its like cost. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Lifelink to bring you some back. You can, if you surveil cards away, get your lands back into play. I think that's pretty cool. A little expensive, but
amazing.
Most thought that Dimir had been wiped out. This suited Dimir perfectly.
Yeah.
And then we have Final Word Phantom. 2 in a blue, creature, spirit detective, flash, flying. During each opponent's end step, you may cast spells as though they had flash. Just one more thing. That's a 1/4.
I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fun because that's what I'm going to cast the spells generally anyways.
Yeah.
Excuse me, just one more thing. Yeah.
Then we've got Follow the Bodies, 2 in a blue for sorcery. It has Gravestorm. So whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each permanent put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn. And it just says investigate.
I love it. I love Gravestorm. Gravestorm's such a cool mechanic.
The culprit doesn't seem to care about covering their tracks. Let's hope that's a good thing.
I like the fact that it's a sorcery speed and not instant speed, just because it makes it more limited.
That would be a very strong instant, yeah.
Yeah.
But
you got the card before it.
But even though the fact that you can, like, in the dog deck, right? You can just pay 1 mana to throw all of your things away and then investigate that many times again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's really good. I like that.
Everyone gets a cool vehicle here.
Foreboding Steamboat for 3 black. Artifact vehicle. It's a 5/7. When Foreboding Steamboat enters the battlefield, each player chooses 2 non-token, non-vehicle creatures they control. Exile them until Foreboding Steamboat leaves the battlefield. Whenever Foreboding Steamboat attacks, put a card exiled with it into its owner's graveyard. If you do, investigate, and it has Crew 2.
Wow.
That seems like a fun card.
Crew 2 on a 5/7 is pretty big.
Yeah.
For 5 mana, and you get to get rid of 2 creatures.
2 creatures each player.
Yeah. So
And then and then if you just attack, you just put them into their graveyard. Like they're already gone. Like unless like
No,
they're
but
playing like a reanimator deck.
yeah, so you enter, you are killing 2 creatures, but you're able to put yours into the graveyard too, right? Like you lose. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
The artwork on this next one's pretty cool. This Havoc Eater, but again, a very big cost. 5 double red for a 3/3 elemental. Let's see if it's worth it. It's got flying. When it enters the battlefield for each opponent, goad up to 1 target creature that opponent controls. Put X/1/1 counters on Havoc Eater, where X is the total power of creatures goaded this way. I could see that. Understandably, a 7 mana card.
Especially in Gruul.
Well, just if you're playing like anything that is a what's the word I'm thinking, like a Voltron kind of deck, and you have like a 10/10 that I've just goaded, that's already problematic for the table. But then I get 10/1/1 counters on Havoc Eater, and then I still have 2 other ones. Yeah, it's I can see that getting a little out of control.
Well, I'm just thinking of even like if I'm casting. So say I'm casting this card, I'm playing probably for this cost. I like a Gruul deck for it. But if I'm still playing like the Gruul colors and then I cast this, I could probably be casting this out fairly early or fast. And then like I'm thinking of also like my setup cards, so possibly having like a doubling season or anything that would double my +1/+1 counters. So if I'm going that route, it could just be a very bad scenario, I feel. But a very fun outcome, I feel, as well.
Yeah.
I would rather put it in like an is it like I'd rather play it in a with blue or with white and just blink it.
Woof.
Because that'd be even that'd be worse. So
Goading everything.
yeah. And just like do it every turn. Like, okay, blink. Okay, they're all goaded again. Oh, there's some more creatures because the other ones died. Blink. That's what I would do.
The next card that we have is called Hot Pursuit. It's 1 and a red. When Hot Pursuit enters the battlefield, suspect target creature and opponent controls. As long as Hot Pursuit remains on the battlefield, that creature is also goaded. Interesting. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more players have lost the game, gain control of all goaded or suspected creatures until end of turn. Untap them, they gain haste until end of turn.
That's pretty cool, actually. I think that's
Interesting.
That's fun.
Got to deal with 2 people. Once they're gone, I get your stuff.
Well, generally speaking, right, the problem with a goad deck is eventually they don't have to. Goad has to attack and then has to attack a player if not able. But if I kill Sherman and Slothy and all your creatures are goaded, not only you have to attack me, right? So that yikes, right? But then the fact that I can systematically goad whoever is like the most dangerous player and then just get to my combat and take their cards after, right? Like if you have like a whole field, any of the Spectacular Showdown, for instance, right? The goad all creatures, put a double strike counter on them. I play that on whoever is the biggest threat at the table. Like it's Brian with all his creatures. Brian wipes the other 2 players out, and then I dump this in for 2 mana, take all those goaded creatures, and
GG.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Then we've got Immortal Obligation. 1 and a white for an instant. Return target creature card from an opponent's graveyard to the battlefield under their control with a duty counter on it. For as long as that creature has a duty counter on it, it is goaded. Can't attack you or a permanent you control, and can't block creatures you control.
This suspect deck looks
reprieve
fun.
from an Orzhov death.
Yeah, that's funny.
Amazing. Love it. Love it, love it, love
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty cool.
I like the fact that it can't block creatures you control. I don't like goading is already great, but the fact that it can't block the creatures you control is stupid.
I would
Okay,
prefer it
we
if
got-
it was an enchantment, but
Sorry?
I would have preferred that card if it was an enchantment.
I think it'd be too strong if it is enchantment, but like
it's
because
a-
they're putting a counter down.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
Makes a difference.
This is a nice politics card too, though, right? Like I'd run this in group hug decks.
Yeah, I can help you out, give you a creature back. It just can't touch me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that deal.
Okay, next one we have is Innocuous Researcher. For 3 and a green, it's a 3/4 Centaur Detective. It has Parlay. Whenever Innocuous Researcher attacks, each player reveals the top card of their library. For each non-land card revealed this way, you investigate. Then each player draws that card. I already love that.
Love parlay.
Then, at the beginning of your end step, you may untap all lands you control. Whoa. If you do, you can't cast spells until your next turn. Oh, boo.
But if again, this is going to be in that investigate deck, right? So you're going to be able to sit there and power pop those clues with it. Just pop. I like it.
I like the power pop term.
Power pop and clues. Yeah, this I think this is pretty for any deck where you're not really casting spells, right? Like if you're in even your Gruul like Rurik Thar themed commanders, right? Where all of your abilities are on the creature themselves or like on permanents and your mana sinking, then casting spells doesn't matter. If you're not a deck that's casting spells and all of your stuff is in mana sinkable things like an Ant Queen or something like that, untapping all your lands is just gas.
I just want to say this next card, they should have saved it for like a G.I. Joe.
Which one? Knowledge is
Crossover.
power?
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. Pretty cool enchantment. 3, 1 white, 1 blue. Creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn. That's pretty strong. I've got to say. That's a pretty big card. And I really like the Tremble Criminal before the overwhelming might of meticulously organized evidence.
I love that.
The fairies were helping. The next one is Merchant of Truth. Is it really true if you have to pay for it? 2 and 2 white. Creature, Angel Detective. Flying. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate. Clues you control have exalted.
That's
Wow.
pretty good.
Wow.
That's pretty good, especially in that like the tiny deck. Like again, I can see.
Are you going to want to be power popping those now?
Power popping. I could see that you'd want to, like I said, some of these seem more focused than the other. The suspect one seems great, but Feather doesn't seem to really have a spot in it, right? The same with the investigate deck. It looks very fun. Like this knowledge is power is a great card in it. Obviously, I'm just guessing that's where it is, I think. But the clues you control having exalted, that's a pretty cool route to go down the tiny thing on, right?
So just curious. So say I attack with 1 creature. All of my clues give that 1 creature a +1/+1. Damage is going to be dealt. Am I able to sacrifice my clue? Never mind. I'm thinking of other stuff.
For which one?
I'm thinking of sacrificing the clues to put the +1/+1 counters on them.
Like after
But that would probably negate the exalted.
No, exalted is on attack.
So as long as they go, all right, I'm taking it, I can.
No, you don't even have to choose to take it. You can say, I attack. The exalted trigger is an attack trigger and everything. Then before it moves to declare blockers, there's another chance for everyone to respond. And in that, you can, again, as I so elegantly put it, I think. Power pop your clues.
Oh, that's rough. And amazing.
I love the artwork on that. I'm gonna buy the Suspect deck.
Power pop in the swall.
The next card we've got is Mob Verdict, 2 double red for sorcery. It's got Secret Council. Each player secretly votes for another player. Then those votes are revealed. For each vote an opponent received, Mob Verdict deals 2 damage to that player and each creature that player controls. For each vote you received, draw a card.
That's awesome.
The court of public opinion doesn't hear appeals.
That's so wicked. Everyone can either give me card draw, which I love, or we're wiping someone's field.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good card. The Suspect deck seems really fun.
You're accusing everyone impulsively.
Yeah. You took that. That's my conspiracy theory deck. Everyone's out to get me.
Wow.
That is a fun card.
Yeah, read the next one, Sherman. That's cracked.
Yeah.
On the Trail, 1 in a green, enchantment. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. How broken is that?
That's great.
Oh.
Insane.
How broken is that?
I gotta say, I like to trash wizards when they don't do a good job. These seem like pretty cool decks so far. And the flavor text on all of these has just been phenomenal. This is like they kind of seem like the streets of New Capenna, everyone's a detective, murder mystery, blah, 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 But again, when the victim's journey ends, the investigators begins. That's great flavor text. That's great writing.
Yep.
Flavor text. I'm still I don't know if they should have made this card.
That's good. It's a really good card.
It feels way too strong.
Whenever you draw your second card each turn.
Can you imagine any of the landfall decks and whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. There's definitely some power in this set for sure. There's one that's going to be the chase card. They print one in every one of them, obviously, to get people to buy it. It's not this one though. Otherworldly Escort, 3 and a white for a human detective, 4/3 with flash. When Otherworldly Escort dies, if it's not a spirit, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with 4 charge counters on it. It's a detective. 1 and a tap. Remove a charge counter from Otherworldly Escort. Destroy target creature that dealt damage to this turn. Nice little revenge counter. I like that.
Yeah. Then we have Panoptic Projector, 4 colorless artifact. Tap it. The next face-down creature spell you cast this turn costs 3 less to cast. If turning a face-down permanent face-up causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. I think it's about time that they did add a double trigger for Morph.
I only wish, my only problem with this Morph thing so far is why not put it in like the Sultai colors where Morph is already so prevalent, right? Really give upgrade. Did we really need Naya Morph?
You wouldn't have gotten your bear then.
True. And I love the bear, the rage bear.
My thing is that I've only seen one evolve card so far. They've brought back, or they've used so many other abilities in here. Just give me evolve, guys. Let's go.
Then we've got the Print Lifter Ooze. 1 in a green for 2/2 Ooze with Death Touch. Whenever Print Lifter Ooze or another creature you control is turned face up, create a 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample. The token enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of other creatures you control. And it's got Disguise for 3 in a green.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of like the Rick and Morty. What is the purpose of life? To cut butter. Oh. This guy's only purpose is to lift prints. He's not even a detective.
That's a great token generator, though, for something you're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
It seems like a really good fit in that deck.
Okay, next one is going to be Prisoner's Dilemma for 3 red. Sorcery. Each opponent secretly chooses silence or snitch. Ooh, I like this already. Then the choices are revealed. If each opponent chooses silent, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 4 damage to each of them. If each opponent chooses snitch, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 8 damage to each of them. Otherwise, Prisoner Dilemma deals 12 damage to each opponent who chose silence and has a flashback of 5 in red and a red.
I love this suspect deck.
Niche. Screw anyone over that says silence.
If everyone chooses silence, 4 damage. If everyone snitches, 8 damage. And if each opponent who chooses silence when someone snitches takes 12.
This deck
Always
speaks
snitch.
to me.
That's the rule. Always snitch.
It's like it's all game theory. This deck is practically all game theory. It's amazing. They did a great job.
I really, really like the suspect deck. I really want to. I'm going to get it for sure. This is very cool. We have the ransom note. There's 4, so there's 1 in each. I think they all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all artifact clues. When they enter, you surveil 1. Oh, it's kind of cool where you do one of the things from each of the decks. That's nice. So you can sack it and choose one. So it's a clue. You can sack it to either cloak the top card, goad target creature, or draw a card. That's a pretty phenomenal little auto include there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I go through all 4 of them, or
No, they're all the
they
same.
all do the same.
Yeah.
So then the next one that we have here is Redemption Arc. 2 and a white, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has indestructible and is goaded. Oh, we got some new cursed gifts. 1 and a white to exile enchanted creature.
Absolute gasoline. That's really good. Like the vow cards are already so played, right? But indestructible, goaded, and you have the ability to get rid of it when you're done with it. That's really good. And that's a great threat card. It's like, hey, like keep swinging at Slothy, or I'm getting rid of it. I think that's wicked. Crime doesn't pay nearly as well as the agency. All right.
Next one we've got here is Serene Sleuth. 1 and a white for a 2/2 human detective. When Serene Sleuth enters the battlefield, investigate. At the beginning of combat on your turn, investigate for each goaded creature you control. Then each creature you control is no longer goaded.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I take your goad and I raise you. Nah.
I think that's not going to be in the Soy Jack deck. It's that'll probably be in the detective deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool though.
Interesting. Okay, we got Show-Stopping Surprise. 3 red. Instant. Choose target creature you control. Turn it face up if it's face down. Then it deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. Not bad.
It's pretty okay.
Everybody looks so happy, but that guy on like the right-hand side with the spiky necklace, he does not look happy at all.
That was my face seeing the Bear Commander.
Loosh.
We have Take the Bait. 2/1 red, 1 white for an instant. Cast only during opponent's turn and only during combat. Prevent all combat damage to be dealt to you and planeswalkers you control this turn. Untap all attacking creatures and goad them. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Oh, I love it. Oh,
Amazing.
man, I love this deck.
That's amazing.
I do enjoy talking people into attacking me and then turning it around.
That's so funny. I get ganged up on a lot. I do, a lot of times I earn it. I do some shenanigans. I'll be the first to admit it. But yeah, that's a very cool card.
The next one we have is Tangle Trove Kelp. 5 and 2 blue, artifact creature, clue plant with ward 2. At the beginning of each combat, other clues you control become a 6/6 plant creature in addition to their other types until end of turn.
Okay. All right.
Pay 2 to sacrifice Tangle Trove Kelp to draw a card, and it's a 6/6.
Nice.
Even experienced detectives can be strung along by planted evidence.
That's a nuts card. Turning all of your clues into 6/6s is that's wild.
Mhm.
Can you imagine that in the Senator Peacock deck? Because all your artifacts are clues.
Oh yeah,
And you throw this down.
Mhm.
that's pretty good. I forgot about Senator Peacock. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's been so long since we recorded that episode. One week.
One
some
whole
say,
week.
yeah.
Yeah. The next one we've got here is Teshak, Judith's Hellhound. 3 in a red for a 3/3 legendary creature elemental dog. It has Unleash, which you may have this creature into the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. It can't block as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. Other dogs you control have Unleash. Creatures you control with counters on them have Haste. And whenever Teshak Judith's Hellhound attacks, add red for each attacking creature.
That's pretty cool.
Unleash on this is very flavorful, and I love it.
Yeah.
I have to
Release the
I have to
hounds.
Oh,
I have to say kudos to the team, the design team, for bringing back a lot of the old mechanics.
I'm gonna cut you if you keep going with this.
Like they're bringing them back slowly here and there, but like at least we get to see them instead of waiting like a year or two before they're like, okay, now the set had all these mechanics. Let's just bring them all back now, you know. So we see this, we see Evolve. I would like to see them bring back banding, but
Pardon?
that's
We
the
have
point.
not seen Evolve. We've seen a card with Evolve.
That's all you
And we
need.
saw-
We've seen Evolve.
That's all you need, brother.
A card with Unleash.
But this gives all dogs Unleash.
True. Oh,
Give me a card that gives all cards Evolve.
Sherman, please, the next one.
Okay, we have Trouble in Pairs. 2 white enchantment. If an opponent would begin an extra turn, that player skips that turn instead. Whenever an opponent attacks you with 2 or more creatures, draw their second card each turn, or cast their second spell each turn, you draw a card.
Wow.
And there it is.
The chase card?
Yeah.
And there it is. Yep. That's wild.
Yeah.
So if an opponent does
Wow.
anything, you draw a card.
No, anything twice.
That's
Yes,
that's a
yes,
good
yes,
card.
Brian, I know.
I wonder what deck that's in. I hope it's in that suspect deck.
I suspect you're taking a second turn. Not.
That's a really good card. It's a phenomenal card. I can see it definitely is going to have some chase potential. The extra turn skip is just a stapled on thing for it, right? The true beauty is that we all play in decks that are if an opponent like draws their second card a turn, that's nothing. That's so easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Happens so much.
Second spell a turn, yeah, it's great. A lot of times it's going to be 2 draws a turn.
Yeah, like your ceiling is drawing 3 cards on someone else's turn or whatnot. Like that's just stupid.
Well, the other thing too is I think the ceiling is even higher than that, because if you're putting it in like let's say I put this in Quain, right? Where I've got lots of copies of Quain in the deck where I can keep making multiple Quains, multiple like Temple Bell kind of things, right? This is each turn. So if I can just get each of you guys to draw 2 cards a turn, that's 3 draws for me from just that per turn, every turn around.
True.
Howling mine.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the potential, that means potentially you could draw 7 cards on one person's turn. Because if everyone draws 2 cards, and everybody casts 2 spells, and that one person attacks at least with 2 creatures, yeah, that's 7 cards. So the ceiling is actually like 7 cards in one turn.
It's big.
You get a whole brand new hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes, I know.
again, it's very, very playable. We also have True Identity, 1 and a white for an enchantment. Whenever True Identity or another permanent you control is turned face up, scry 1, then draw a card. All right, kind of cool. This ability triggers only once each turn. Fair. And then Disguise 1 white, you can cast it for a face down 3/3 and then flip it up for 1 white. Pretty cool.
You can turn your enchantment into a creature and then back into an enchantment.
Yeah, kind of cool. Especially because I think that's what the whole point of the flip, the face down one that the bear deck is for some reason in.
This next card looks funny. It's like they printed a card and then they just decided to cut everybody out from it. We got Unexplained Absence. 3 and a white instant. For each player, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller cloaks the top card of their library.
That's crazy. The ability to just straight out any non-land permanent exile, that's really, really good. But the top deck control of that, just the ability to I Mystical Tutor or something, or Worldly Tutor to the top, and you turn it face down kind of thing, that's wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to target it too?
You go and you grab me you go try get a Psych Rift to the top of the deck, and I Psych Rift to a 3/3 or 2/2 creature. All right, fair. Play your games. I like this a lot.
The next one we've got is Unshakable Tail. 2 and a black for a 3/2 zombie detective. When Unshakable Tail enters the battlefield and at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, investigate. And you can pay 2 and sacrifice a clue to return Unshakable Tail from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah, I like that.
I like being able to keep a card around.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, next card we have is Veiled Ascension. 3 and a white. Enchantment. When Veiled Ascension enters the battlefield, put a flying counter on each face-down creature you control. Nice. Face-down creatures you control enter the battlefield with a flying counter on them. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cloak the top card of your library. Ooh.
I like
good.
this.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Interesting.
Flying always hoses me. Being able to put everything flying.
And then our final new card we have is just this absolutely yoked Sphinx. Watcher of Hours, 5 and a blue for a 6/6 Sphinx with Flying Ward 3. Whenever you remove a time counter from it, if it's exiled, surveil 1, and it has to spend 6 for 1 and a blue. Pretty cool.
Nothing else to do if you're just watching time, except for lift some weights, I guess.
Yeah, right. That absolutely jacked. Let's rip through a little bit of some of these reprints as well, just kind of quick. There is an Adrix and Nev reprint. That's wild.
Yeah.
Benny
Brax as well is a big one.
Yeah, that's one that wasn't. The fact again that it's got elf stapled into the creature type is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many decks that care about that.
It actually has coloring in the symbol.
Which one?
Actually, Benny Brax actually has the mythic.
Oh yeah. Back to these. It's not the. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I wonder if it's just really hard to see. Kind of like
It is. It's just the little edges of the symbols that have the coloring, but it does just look like it's an empty black.
Yeah. No. The other ones just look like the common symbol. But again, that's a phenomenal one. A Chulane reprint is pretty cool.
Oh my goodness! They reprinted Coma, Cosmic Serpent.
Did they? Also Essex sitting there in the reprint.
Eternal. Massacre Worm.
Grave Titan.
Coma's a great reprint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Neheb in the reprint slot is also wild. Mechanized Production is very, very good. And a pretty cool win con with the number of investigation tokens you can create.
Academy Manufacturer.
Is that in there?
Yep.
Sphinx the Second Son, a very welcome reprint.
Jessica's Will. It's getting a reprint.
Some absolute fire in this reprint section. Again, the Alandra.
Beast Whisperer.
Alandra was one of the only jumpstart cards, and that's been very hard for people to get for a long time. Whenever you draw your second card, you get Drake. Yeah, see, this is a Merfolk, Brian. Very clearly different than the Fidalcan Fish Detective.
Which one?
True.
Alandra. whenever you draw your 5th turn, Elandra and the Drakes each get XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. I've got an Elandra deck. It's very cool, but seeing that in the reprint slot is great. Ancient Stone Idol is a pretty cool, like, big artifact as well.
Seaborn Muse.
A Beast Whisperer, yeah.
Selvala Explorer Returned.
Defecting Palm.
A lot. We've also got Comeuppance. That's another one you don't really see. Prevent all damage to be dealt to you and Planeswalkers you control this turn. If damage from a creature is prevented this way, it deals that much damage to that creature. If damage from a non-creature is prevented, it deals that much to the source's controller. That's a really, really fun way you swing out at me and all your creatures are 10/10s. Now all your creatures are taking 10 damage from yourself. That's a great hose card.
Ooh, there's just guys
getting a reprint.
And hang on, I'm not done. It's got new artwork with all the suspect hands. I love it. I love it so much. Carry on, sorry.
We got Jessica's Will.
Along with Kappa Cannoneer.
That's one that needed a reprint. That's a very cool card.
Yeah.
Farewell as well.
I remember this card from when I first started really playing Magic. The Crows and Cloud Scraper, the big 13/13 boy. That was like the biggest creature I ever saw when I first started playing. I always wanted to try to get him out.
Even the land section here looks pretty good, like the Fury Calm Snarls, the Game Trails, just the you can reveal mountains or plains or enter tap. Those are pretty good cards.
War Room's getting a reprint.
Which one?
War Room.
Yeah.
Good.
Keeper of the Accord. I don't know if that was mentioned. That's a great card. Beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls more creatures than you make a soldier. At beginning of each opponent's end step, if they have more lands, you can search for plains. That's very, very solid. Sorry, I'm a few behind you guys. Oh yeah, Lord's expensive right now. Lord's like $10.
Yeah, these decks look to be really, really well done. Actually, like I would want a lot of these cards out of these precons.
I'm happy. We get the Obscuring Aether, face down creatures or one less. I wonder if there's the ramp one, the Game Trail or whatever. You guys keep going with it.
The Vizier of Many Faces. That one typically can't find.
Overall, the reprints have a lot of value. Ooh, Toski. I need a Toski. Oh, Toxic Deluge.
We got the Signets again in the decks.
There's some pretty great cards in it. There's
Animate Dead.
I'm trying to see one card in particular. You guys just keep going. Oh, Yadora is also going to be a great card in this. I don't know if they're reprinting that one, but
Crows and Colossus.
It's an enchantment that I'm looking for.
Overall, these are really good reprints. In all honesty. Oh wow, Reliquary Towers. Wow. We need more Reliquary Towers.
Sure do. Ooh, the Talismans. They got the Talismans. Looks like all 5. 3 visits.
Thought Vessel. 3 visits. Yeah, for sure. Oh, man.
Zoetic Cavern. So another land that can morph.
Oh, man. Lots of
I'm really liking these decks, actually. Like, I would probably pick them all up. Sinister Starfish, amazing.
Oh yeah, Surveil one. No, like overall, I think these commander decks, like they look interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And
a Seraph reprint is also wild.
Really solid this time around.
Your bear comes in full art too.
Let's go.
The bears.
A Smuggler's Share in the reprint section is crazy. That's been a chase card for a while. Beginning of each end step, draw a card for each opponent who drew 2 or more cards this turn. Create a treasure for each who has more lands than you. That's a great card to see reprinted. That was one of the chase ones. Spectacular Showdown with new artwork. That's one of the ones I was mentioning earlier. Teferi's Ageless Insight. These are great reprints. Like they're I'm really Tireless Tracker in the reprint section.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trail of Mystery, that's the one I was looking for, and yes, it is in the deck. These look like pretty well built. Again, I think the secondary commanders in most of them don't fit at all. I think they're pretty bad secondary commanders. But as far as the phase commanders go, these are really cool. I just think the bear has to be pulled into another deck. The same
That
with Feather.
ongoing investigation seems fun. Whenever you one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, investigate.
Yeah, these are 3 visits is in this.
Yeah. Which means it's going to be in the boxes too, so we're going to be getting a whole lot of reprints because
These won't be in the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think the reprint of 3 visits is going to be in the base set?
Nope.
No. Boo.
It'll be in the
Boo,
actual
boo.
deck itself.
Guess I got to buy
Bring
so
down the
many
price
decks.
a little bit though.
Nature's Lore also.
Boosters.
They're also dumping the Nature's Lore. They won't put the comments from the commander decks in the set boosters as reprints, but
Oh, it's just as a common.
yeah. Yeah, these are way down the list. They can't just call everything in the deck rares. I will say that the extended art cards are what you'll be able to pull as the set boxes. So basically the rares.
Mm-hmm.
Still cool though. I'm pretty impressed with these commander decks. These are actually some of the first commander decks in a while that I've thought are pretty cool. I've been skipping them lately because I didn't really like them as much. I kind of
say the Secure Tribe Elder one.
Just another one, like another.
Yeah,
reprint.
but it has new art though.
That's cool. Reanimate's also in the thing. Didn't even see that one. That's a great. There's definitely some good value in these, but I was gonna say the one I regret getting is not getting was the Velociraptor deck. I've heard nothing but good things about that deck. Everyone has told me it's fun. I saw it played last night a little bit, the Discover deck. It seemed pretty cool, so maybe if I can see one of those, I'll pick it up. But I think that deck's price has skyrocketed. But yeah, these seem like really good times to build around. They seem fun, and they also kind of seem strangely balanced around each other. Like nothing seemed overwhelming. A lot of them are like being able to ungoad your creatures, right? That's obviously nice, but it's so specific, right? But when you're playing a 4-man sealed pod with these, that's a pretty cool way. I think maybe if we could get I'm gonna buy all these, I think. So if we can maybe get a game with them as the raw base decks first, that'd be fun.
I'd do that. That sounds like a fun time.
Down for that.
Yeah, just roulette roll and see what we get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm happy to end us there. We're pretty good there. That's the commander spoilers, everyone.
Do.
I start the music.
Ah.
All right. It's not music. It's not music time yet. Anyways. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for getting to the end of the episode. If you like our content, go over to intothe99.com. Great spot to support us, see all our content in one spot. Like, share, subscribe, give us a rating. It really does help us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you're listening is nice to hear back what people think. We have YouTube videos. Easiest way to interact with us generally is through Instagram. We're the most active on there, but we've got some good plans going on. We've been behind the scenes working on a lot of stuff. So yeah, if you want to support us beyond liking, sharing, subscribing, which everyone should be doing, you can join us on Patreon. It's a great spot to come talk decks. I'm going to be building a lot from this. You'll be able to probably see my bear deck a little early, and I think people are going to like my bear deck. I think it's going to be a cool time. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of things. Yeah, support us by subscribing, and like I said, really rating. It does help out. Give me 5 stars. Tell me my takes are great. And yeah, if you want
stroke Daniel's ego a little,
if there's any of these cards that you want to get, go over to Atomic Ashes. Great place to pick up some of those more expensive cards. Promo code IT99 for a little bit of a discount at the end. And yeah, let's all just spam Atomic and say that we need a Scooby-Doo version and we need mystery tokens, Scooby Snacks for the clues. If enough of us spam and ask, we'll get them.
Yeah, like how did they not do Scooby-Doo as a crossover for Clue 2?
Oh, that'll be the next Universe Beyond set. Don't set me off in the outro song. I cast Velma.